Hey, hey, hi everybody. I'm back. Hey Harold. No, I didn't move. Okay, technically I did. So I moved from New York to Dallas, Texas. So technically, yes, but that was last year. So I'm still in Dallas, but I keep up with New York a lot just because I am close to some companies still in New York, right? That are based in New York, and so I still keep them on my radar. I also have family there, so yes, I moved away from New York, but I'm going to be talking about them tonight. And King of Kill is saying you're at the gym, but I should be. Oh, okay. We'll see you popping in and out of the live, I guess. So I'm going to be talking about New York, but I'm also going to give a quick update about my MacBook Pro towards the end of the chat. So I I feel really sad about everything being shut down in New York, but it is what it is. I'm hoping they get back. But I found this article, and there's been a couple of different articles that have been saying that New York isn't going to ever be the same, and that um, it's going to take years, possibly 2025, for things to return to some it's titled "The Old New York is Gone. Here's what NYC will look like." Now, there's already a ton of articles that are talking about, a lot of companies are not going to need the amount of space that they're used to having. So I think that's kind of a benefit for a place like New York, where you do have smaller, um, when you look at buildings, you look at rental spaces, you're typically, when you're looking at the square footage, it's going to be less. So if you don't need as much space, New York would be a good location because you wouldn't need as much space to cater to as many employees, with people working remotely more, or maybe in a hybrid remote scenario. So that could be a benefit for New York, I think. Hey Sharky, how are you? Um, so so that's my thinking. But let me jump into the article and some things that I thought really made sense, and actually were some reasons why I left New York. One of the first things that, and again, they're making this argument, it's going to take a while for New York to come back to some semblance of normal, and it's not going to be the same. So the first thing I talk about is Broadway. Broadway has been huge. That's the huge moneymaker. And that was part of the reason I left. I was like, well, I can't go to Broadway. I can't go to shows. Like, what's the point? Aw, thank you. Hello, Barry. Welcome in. This stream seems right up your alley. Okay. Is it because of the New York thing, or because of the MacBook Pro I'm going to be talking about later? I'm interested in hearing. Um, okay, so Broadway. So they're saying that Broadway is still unopen. It's not open in New York, right? Because the social distancing standards can't really do that when you're doing a play, which involves, I don't know, hundreds of people. But they're saying that it will return by late summer or early fall. I don't know if that's even really going to happen, with there being talk in the news of different strains, and the vaccine not being as effective, some of the vaccines. So we'll see what happens there. But there are a lot of people that work on Broadway, and they just can't work right now. It's crazy. So the glimmer of hope is that there's going to be a lot of pent up demand if Broadway does open in the summer or fall, and more people are going to go there, and so they're going to kind of recoup some of their costs. But they're saying that 4 out of 5 shows on Broadway don't even recoup their investment. So that's crazy. So they have to do everything they can to refill the seats. But if you're social distancing, how can you really recoup the cost if you're saying in a normal circumstances you don't even recoup your investment? So how are you going to fill the seats? So that's one thing. The other thing that stood out to me is that they're estimating that up to 38 million people are expected to visit New York City by the end of the year. And this article was from the end of March 2021, so this year. Do you guys think that's going to happen? Up to 38 million people are expected to visit New York City by the end of the year. Summertime, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Um, they say that's about the normal amount. 38 million people are typically visiting New York City towards like summer to end of year. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see how the summer turns out. But I mean, I just don't see it as much based on all the regulations that they have there in New York. I just don't see it. Oh, everyone's saying hi to each other. Harold said, "What is normal? Entertainment has been hit hard, right?" And that's the thing about New York. Like New York is all about obviously Broadway, different events, film production. That's a big one too. Fashion, the fashion events, like that falls into the events category. And then also restaurants. You guys know I've been talking about that since I've been down here in the South. I just miss the restaurants. I really miss the restaurants because I mean, New York has the best chefs. It's just, the food is just high quality if you're going to, different restaurants. But yeah, that's a big thing. And they do talk about that in the article too. The tourism, they think that there's this big pent up demand. I really haven't talked to a bunch of people that have said, I want to go to New York. Now, obviously, I do. But across the board, I hear people saying they want to go to Mexico, or they've been going to Mexico, they want to go to the islands, they want to travel abroad, or they like to go to Florida. So I don't know. I haven't really heard that. Have you guys heard it? Have you guys heard people say like, "Oh, I want to go to New York City when it opens up"? I really have not seen a lot of people saying that. Hey, Mr. 100 Rounds. How are you guys? I know, Harold, you mentioned that to me. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say unless people are willing to move. Nashville is a market that I'm not as familiar with. And you guys know me. Like I've been telling folks, especially if you're doing factory work, to really look ahead and get tech skills, some type of tech skills. Like even if you know how to work on the machines in the factories, digital. I mean, there are going to be digital factories before we know it. So they're going to need less people. In addition to this whole thing with the cough, which the whatever I need to call it, Rona. Um, there are already machines in place. Really, what this pandemic has caused is to speed up everything. Right? We've seen a speed up in cryptocurrency. Like that stuff happened really fast. We've seen a speeding up of digital finance because how do you buy your stuff? If you didn't like buying stuff online, you know how to buy stuff online now because you had to. E-commerce, digital. Companies had to get on board really quickly. Those people that were lagging behind and said they don't want to do digital marketing, well, they had to do it. The digital factories are coming because like these companies are looking at, okay, how do we make things less unsafe for our employees in the factory? I hate that sometimes people think that companies really just only care about their office folk, right? But really, I've always looked at it as the most important people are the ones that are actually building the product, whatever we're selling. Like the folks in the office, typically, like we're kind of that additional headcount. So the companies do have to really focus on employees in the office, right? Or in the factory or in our warehouses and things like that. And there's more people and closer together, right? So, what I see coming is definitely the machine. So, sorry, long winded way to say, Harold. Please encourage people to get some type of technical skill or machinery skill. how to actually work on specific machines that they see, or if there's a change in machines that are being used, they need to be the ones that are either programming or fixing those machines and things like that. Sharky says, I love Broadway, but that's been the case for decades. Too many plays lose money. Yeah. So they were already having that problem, which the article was pointing out, but now it's going to get worse. So if most of these plays don't recoup their costs, well, they're definitely not going to be able to recoup the costs if they physically can't pack a house like they normally would pre-pandemic, right? Um, Now, I think more people will be more enthusiastic about travel with the vaccine. So who knows? They did point that out in the article. I'm questionable. They're pretty optimistic about that piece. The other thing are the restaurants. I did not know this, but let me see. There was a stat in here because there have been a lot of restaurants going out of business, which I knew. So they said New York City has lost thousands of restaurants. And that's so sad. And they're just talking about New York City, not New York State. So New York City, they've lost thousands of restaurants, which is so sad. There's so many great restaurants. I'm going to be sad if I go back there and some of my restaurants that I love are not still open. But that's what happens when you don't get funding. You tell these places they can only they're shut down for months, and then when they open, they can only open at 25% capacity. What do you expect people to do? Like, how do they thrive in that? How do they keep functioning in that? That's really tough. I think 40 million is optimistic. I know, Sharky. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I'm like, you're probably like me. Like, you're not hearing people say, oh, I can't wait to go to New York. I'm going to get my ticket right now. Like, no, who's saying that? Who are these people that are like, well, you know what? I will say Europeans. I don't know about the Europeans. They may be in that scenario of, I can't wait to get back to New York, or thinking about if there's more production happening or more things happening with fashion events. Like, if those things happen, then yes, people will start saying they have to get to New York, but it's like they have to get to New York because they have work in New York. I don't know if the tourism will quite be there unless it's something maybe in relation to events or fashion or video production. That's just me thinking, like, just realistically thinking. I don't have stats behind that, but I just don't see the regular, like, folks in the US, different average Joe, average Janice, I don't know, saying, yeah, I gotta get to New York City right now. That's on my, to go list, or that's on my trip list. A lot of people have been saying they just want to go international because they haven't been able to go international. They've been in the country, they don't want to be stuck in the country. They want to see something different, or they want to go to the beach. It's open. It seems safer because you're doing a lot of things outside, right? So, plus it's just fun. Like, who doesn't want to be on the beach? Hey, Pandy, welcome in. How are you tonight? We are talking about NYC, and we're basically talking about just so this one of the articles and a couple others have been stating that New York City won't be the same, and it's not going to be back to a more normal until 2025. So I'm talking through that in this video. And hello, Angel. You said you love your Mac. At first I didn't because of the learning curve. So I am going to be talking about the MacBook Pro in a minute. I have it by me. I have a couple things I like. I have a couple things I don't like about the MacBook, but yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. But I'm glad you like your Mac. That's good to know. So far, it's been good. It's been very easy. I will say that about it. It's very easy to set up, right? It's super easy. Sharky is saying hello to everybody. So Harold said, I'm seeing a lot of veterans are not wanting to get the shot because they don't trust the timeline on this thing. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Yeah, that part. Because I don't, and I've talked about this, I think on a video last night, I talked about it a little bit. For me, I I have talked with folks in that like pharmaceutical realm, and typically the FDA approvals, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I don't envy the folks that do that work, especially the folks that are handling and managing the communication, the legalities, all that stuff. It typically takes 2 years. It takes a long time. And sometimes it doesn't get approved and you have to do it again, right? You have to, I just, yeah, yeah. I hear you, Harold. I can understand the vets, like, and even some older folks, and especially my group of people. There was something called the Tuskegee, what was it? Tuskegee clinical trials or something, where the government did testing on black men. And instead of helping these men like they were telling them, that they actually were injecting them with a venereal disease. So let me see when these things happen. I want to see the year because it wasn't that long ago, these studies. So it was, so it was between 1932 in 1972. It ran that long. Oh my gosh, 1932 to 1972 by the United States Public Health Service and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I didn't know it was, I thought it was like in the 50s or 60s. I didn't know it ran as far as 1972. I think my brother was born, I'm not the best at math, but I'm pretty sure he was born in the 70s. So that's like, that's close to home. So a lot of Black Americans think about that when they think about anything that's government issued. So that's where my mind goes. But yeah, I can understand veterans because I used to work with this guy, like from 2019 to last year actually, and we were buddies. I worked right alongside him, and he would just tell me the most interesting things. He was a little eccentric, I would say. Like he was different, but I loved it because he was the smartest. Like he would just know so much, and it was due to his experience working, in the military. And so, like financial information, like I didn't know that different coins and dollars were specially made, and some had mistakes on them, and then he would go into other different things too. But no, the veterans, I do not blame them. And my heart goes out to veterans too, because it's like, I know this is going off in a tangent, but it's like, how would I feel if I literally gave my life, took years off of my youthful, like my young life, right, and said I want to serve the country. Then I get back, and let's say I'm not injured or don't have like, injuries that like losing a limb or something, or but it's still going to be mental, right? Um, and then you come back and the country is just turning their back on veterans. Like my heart goes out. I just don't understand. Like veterans, there's no way we should be sending out money to anybody, any other country, if we're not even taking care of our veterans. That's my stance on that. I'm not, you guys know I'm not political, but I just don't understand how we can ever send money anywhere and we don't take care of our vets. Like that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. Anyway, you that's not what is happening with the video, but I just want to talk about it. Angel said, I love New York. Paolindo, welcome, welcome, Paolindo. Oh my gosh, I know it's late there, so I appreciate you popping in. Oh, and for those that were talking about my teacup yesterday, this is my other cup. It just says, I'm blocking it, just says hot stuff on there. I think it was Mr. 100 Rounds that was talking about it, or JMJ. One of you guys were talking about my teacup. You're like, the teacup again. Sharky says, so cool, Angel. Are you in the Big Apple? LA, so New York and LA won't recover for a while. Yeah, they're saying 2025. So this is another thing that I don't think about as frequently, the hotels. So, if you heard the stories with New York, they had been putting up a lot of homeless folks in these hotels because otherwise, like, these hotels they wouldn't have been able to make it, to be honest. But then also to, appease the homeless situation because New York definitely has a big homelessness issue. And then San Francisco, I've never been to San Francisco, but I just hear that it's just ridiculous. Um, they don't even know what to do, so, or they don't do anything, right? Or they don't do enough, maybe is what I should say, because I know they're doing something. But they had a stat in here that said more than 140 hotels shut down in New York City since last March. And they're saying some will never reopen. And I thought about that because, with the big chains like the Hiltons, right, the Westons, they'll be okay, or they should be okay, right? But, there's a ton of these smaller hotel chains, and I don't think they will recover. And if we talk about the hotel industry, they were already facing some never before competition from Airbnb. And New York City is a big, of course, a big spot for Airbnb. People do it legally, people do it illegally. Everyone's getting in on that, right? They're renting out their space if they own it. They're renting out their space if they're a renter. You got to do what you got to do to make the rent, right? Or to make some extra money. But yeah, that's a big piece of New York. And so you think about no one's really traveling for work, right? And on top of that, no events, no tourists. Like, the hotels are suffering. Now they're saying they'll have enough demand to reopen certain hotels this summer. And if they can open like at least 50% capacity, they're still losing money, but at least they're still open. That's really sad. Oh, let me look in here. Angel says, no, I'm deep in the heart of Texas. I lived there. Oh, yes, I remember Angel in one of your live chats. You were talking about how you had lived in New York for a bit and you were looking for work there. Angel, nice. I visited San Antonio back in 2019 and loved it. My first time in Texas. Ooh, San Antonio. I need to make a weekend visit there too. New York. I know Paolo likes New York. And European. So Paolo's in Italy. So I think that the bigger market for visiting New York and the tourism for New York will be the Europeans. It's my opinion. Potentially even people that live in Asia. I could see also doing a lot of travel to New York. I feel like just thinking about my time when I was walking the streets doing all the tourist things in New York, I saw plenty of Europeans, plenty of Asian people. The New Yorkers, they're not trying to hang out in Times Square or anything. Oh, Sharky, what am I drinking? I am drinking a concoction. I didn't get all the ingredients that someone shared with me yesterday. I think it was JMJ. But I am drinking like a lemon ginger. Uh, what else is in here? Lemon ginger, peppermint, and something else is in here that I'm not thinking of. But yeah, it's probiotics is in here. It's a lot of stuff. I'm trying to, we're trying to work on his voice. I don't want to have this deep. I don't even know who sounds like this. I'm trying to think of a celebrity that has a really deep voice like this. Man, I'm not trying to sound like this forever. Like, it feels good, at least. That smile is too mischievous for that to be just water, tea, or coffee. No, Sharky, I am not being mischievous. It is literally tea. I'm going to show you if I can. Let me see. See there? Real. It is not whiskey. It is tea. It is not whiskey. It is tea. So I am not drinking anything special. Although I do want to do like a wind down Wednesday. I don't think this Wednesday I'm gonna do it. I don't know, but I do want to incorporate just like because I like wine, so I might do that here soon. Yeah, King. I didn't want to say the word, but yeah, they had those trials. And again, I didn't realize it lasted from what it is, 1931 or 1932 to 1972. Blows my mind. Yeah, Tuskegee, that was a terrible thing. So yeah, and there are people. I mean, it's 1972. People are still alive. They probably. I mean, there are people that actually lived through that. No way. And they question why people are side eyeing. I mean, of course, people are going to side eye. I think it's smart to question. You guys know me. I think it's smart to question everything. Now, once you have certain evidence or once you've been appeased, then you make a decision, right? But you have to question things. We can't just take, I don't care if it's a scientist or whatever, a doctor, everyone has ulterior motives. Sometimes it's a good motive, sometimes it's a not so great motive, right? So you always have to question those things. Hey, OG, welcome in. How are you doing? Hey, my trust level is very low and people putting stuff in my body. I hear you, Angel. I hear you. My goodness. You said sorry, but thanks, Harold. Um, oh, sorry, new glasses. Oh, you have new glasses? Cool. So here's the other thing I wanted to highlight about New York because I mean, I would hate to say 2025 is when New York comes back, but it's not looking great. So the other thing is the jobs market. Now, guess how many people, I want to see in the chat if you guys can think of the amount. Guess how many people lost their jobs in New York City since last March, so March 2020. I want to see comments while I take sips of my drink. How many people do you think lost their jobs in New York City? Not even New York, just New York City. I'm actually going to do a refill. I'm going to turn my camera off for just a second. I'll be right back. And then I'll see what you guys think in the comments. I'll let you know the amount. 1 minute. Okay, let's see what you guys think. Okay, so we've got Rice and Beans says 5. Is that 5 million? King of Kill says 30% of the population. Okay. Okay, 5 million. Okay. So Rice and Beans thinks 5 million and welcome in. Harold says, I don't see it coming back that quickly. And I would say 75%. Wow, you guys. So let me look up something really quick about the population. Population in, I'll say 2019. And then I'll give you guys the amount. So the population of New York, well, let me do city, not, let me make sure city. Well, yeah, I guess it, okay, yeah, I guess that's right. So the population of New York City at the end of 2019 was about 8 million, so 8.4 million they're saying. Now, here's the stat. more than 900,000 people lost their jobs in New York City since last March. So, a key thing I want to point out here is that amount, that number is 4 times the amount of jobs that were lost due to 9/11. Like when that happened, that was very traumatic. That was the biggest thing that a lot of people compared the pandemic to was 9/11. And of course, saying like this is way worse. But 900,000 people, almost a million people, right? That's crazy. So, thinking about that, like if you, let's say you lost your job through the pandemic and you moved and you got some, you moved somewhere with a job opportunity that's better for you. When New York comes back to life, are you really going to go back? Is my question. I don't know. I don't think as many people will go back. Now to visit, I do agree. I think people will go back to visit because I mean New York is New York. There's still it's a staple, right? But here's what people don't think about. I think a lot of people, especially older folks that have lived in New York a very long time, have this mentality of New York is the only place where you can do finance. New York is the only place where you can do video production. New York is the only place that you can do fashion. But I mean, yes, it's the epicenter of all of that. It's the staple. But here's the thing, you can build that in other cities. There are other cities that can grow. Like Austin was not always the tech hub for the United States. Like when people think of tech, they're thinking of the West Coast, naturally, Silicon Valley. But now they're also including Austin, Texas in that conversation. So any city that has the right infrastructure, it has the right regulations and things for certain businesses, and it has the people, it has the talent, right? It has companies that will say we want to invest in the city and build it up, just like Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is Austin, Texas because the companies went there. The company, or they got remote people there. They got the tech folks there. They started holding the tech events there. All these things, right? Who's to say that Dallas can't be like the financial center in a few years? You just never know. Things are constantly changing, right? So, that's just my perspective. New York recovered from 9/11, but this is different. And to this point, they've lost 4 times the amount of jobs they had during 9/11. So that is just a total difference. I think the recovery will just take longer. And I hope it's not 2025, right? I really don't want it to be 2025. But it is very possible because the rest of the country it's crazy because New York was the start. That's where everything started. And I think that's where it will end. I think New York City will be one of the last to really fully recover in comparison to the rest of the country. Probably probably only behind California because California has been struggling too. Let me see. I don't know where I left off. Hey Zero. Hey Brown Girl Bella. Let me see. Oh, I know where I stopped off right here. So Sharky, you said you would say 1 to 2 million. I know there was a delay. I live right next door and I hear the news and stories, but I could be low or high. Wait, you live right next door. Jersey? Sharky, are you in Jersey? But yeah, Sharky, you were there. Like, I mean, pretty much between 900,000 and a million people, which I don't think they want to say a million. I think they're saying 900,000, more than 900,000, because they don't want to say a million. They don't want to say close to a million, right? So I think you're right, Sharky. You're right on the cusp there. Yes, you get to watch me, Brown Girl Bella or Shannon. I'm always confused on what I should call you. Yes, thank you. All those people on the pipeline, I feel sorry for. Yeah, you have seen the price of gas now. I have seen the price of gas. I mean, I'm not I'm not worried. I mean, gas prices go up and down. I'm not so worried about that. Hey Zero. Let me see. Angel said something. Bye, everybody. Back to resting. Oh, okay. Get some rest, Angel, and feel better. Sharky saying, "Yep, I'm in North New Jersey." Ah, okay. I gotcha. You're in New Jersey. Okay. So here's the other thing that I want to get to, and then I'm going to get to the MacBook Pro. So the rent reset, which is very interesting. So they're saying some people. So okay, let me back up. There were so many people. Now I remember this because this is the only reason. This is like the only positive reason I saw to stay in New York is that I saw those prices dropping. Like it was hard to leave when I was seeing, and you saw rent prices decrease across a lot of cities. During the summer, fall last year, and it was tough because you started seeing that you could get nice prices in Manhattan, for under 2,000 for like a studio under 2,000. And what's common is you're paid 2,000 for like a crappy square box. Like you don't ask about amenities. That's it, right? So the rent reset in New York. I wonder if it's done. I wonder if enough people will come back because I have seen articles about people returning, making a return to New York. But let me go back up here. So many people left that rental prices dropped by about 15% citywide. They're estimating, and these are real estate, folks in real estate and also economists, they're estimating this could stay that way for the next 3 years. So 15% less rent. And I feel like New York rent, the whole housing market, I feel like it was a bubble. I think the interesting thing will happen though is will students continue to go to the universities in New York, right? Um, that will be a big one. Like, are people still going to go to NYU when colleges are also suffering because of this? Because students are saying, well, why am I paying for this if I'm missing out, or should I go to school? Like, does it make sense? And this whole thing has really gotten people thinking about, just different decisions they're making. And then the other thing was the commercial real estate. So a lot of people will want to come back to work, but in terms of needing office space, we're just not going to be needing to expand. And if anything, most companies will probably shrink their footprint, which I am seeing, their office footprint over the next few years. Yes, I am seeing that. I am seeing more companies say they're either going to a fully remote environment. That's why I share a lot of those remote jobs with you guys or on my channel. And then I see a lot of companies saying, we're just going to do a hybrid approach. We're going to give people the option, or it'll depend on your function, who will be in the office and who won't be, or how many times a week you go in the office. And there was already a cool setup a lot of companies were doing where you would just you had these stations, but no one had an office. You would go to the office, bring your stuff, set up your space, and then you would work that day, whatever days you're working, and then you would take your stuff, clean your space, and go home. And you would work, remotely. So certain times of the week. So I definitely see that. That was already a trend that was happening. I think, again, to my point about the pandemic really speeding things up and making everything just happen quicker, I think that model will come full circle for a lot of companies. They're going to say, why are we paying for so much office space that we're not using? And then, if our employees are demanding, some employers are saying, like, look, I mean, like, put yourself, in the shoes of an employee. I've been working remotely for a year. Everything's fine. I have these kids. I need to take care of them, and da 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 da. You don't offer, this and this. So the least you could do is offer me some flexibility and allow me to work from home 100% of the time or 50% of the time or whatever. So more employees I'm already seeing it. I'm even talking to my circle of friends. One of my girlfriends is like, she was laughing about it, but she was like, look, I'm not going back. She was just like, she was like, look, and this was like last year. This was towards the end of last year. She was like, it's been it's been over 6 months. Next, if we don't come back until next summer, that's gonna be over a year I'm working from home. I'm not coming back. And so and I get it. She and we're in the same field. So she's a recruiter. So it's definitely not a need for her to be in the office. Recruiters, we're on the phone all day. Like even in the office, we're on the phone all day. So what is, now there's some collaboration that happens within our team and whatnot, but you'd be like, why? Why do I need to come back? And then you go into the tech categories. And I've had to have these conversations myself as a recruiter, recruiting people where the companies and the team, they're saying like you have to be in the office. And I'm like, yeah, why do they have to be in the office? We don't understand that. Why do they have to come back? So, Shannon saying, LOL, I'm with her, not going back. I don't blame you. And so that's the issue that a lot of companies are going to be dealing with. Now, you see companies like Amazon, they're building this. I showed you guys in a video this kind of helix building in Arlington, Virginia. It's beautiful. It has like, oh my gosh, you guys have to go to the video. I have to figure out which one it was, but it was maybe 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. But Amazon, they're building this helix upward. Like it's massive. They have greenery all throughout. But I think the reason they're building this is going to be more of a attracting customers. Like they're doing something beyond. Amazon is always trying to get into other things. If anything, they're trying to come for Disney, and they're like, we're going to build these attractions and you can work from this space, but the rest of it's going to be this big attraction where you get to see the Amazon workers. I don't know. I feel like they're going to do something like that. Like I do not see them using that space solely for their employees. It's this cool helix kind of, I don't even know how to describe it, but just kind of ahead of time type of archetype. And they said they were going to start on it, I believe, this year. So, Arlington, Virginia. Who knew? But notice I didn't say they were building it in New York City. So, yeah, a lot of companies are going to that. So, the other thing they said was they said the typical office lease space in the city is 9 years. So, people have time to kind of figure out what they want to do if they already have the space and they have to pay it anyway, right? But will they come back after their lease is up? Is the question. So, and even here in Dallas, there are places where it's like stuff is empty. Stuff, Salesforce. I'm like by a lot of big companies and I pass by them and it's like empty. So if it's empty here in the South, definitely New York. It's just, it's too congested, right? Let me see here. And I missed some of your other comments. Thanks, Zero. Thanks for that comment. Yes, I like to smile, I like to be happy. Life is too short not to be. Oh, good night, Harold. Yes, I think office will shrink their workplace, which I think is great. Yes, I am of the same mindset. I'm like, why? Like, why do you need so many people in office? I don't want to do a commute to offices again. Definitely don't want to do that open style. Yes, exactly. Yeah, oh my gosh, and the open layout, that's what some businesses have moved to too. So everyone doesn't have an office, right? Because that takes up a lot of space. So you saw this trend of companies moving to these smaller spaces, but they were having these open kind of concept where you're right next to someone else. And so if they cough, if they're sick and they don't realize it, and then it kind of has a trickle, it's easier to move it all around. So that definitely, I can definitely get some apprehension with that. Like, I don't know about that. They need to do away with those open floor. Yeah, I would agree. So I had just started working. I was like just in my career as a recruiter, and I had an office, and the rest of the company was shifting. This was 2014. The rest of the office was shifting to open space. Like, we're taking away your offices. And some people like left. They were like, what? Taking away my office? And, like, some people had a hard time with that. They were just like, I'm not doing it. Other people, they moved with the change, like whatever, it's not a big deal. But HR, we didn't get squat. We got a new fresh paint. We got fresh painted coat. fresh coat of paint on our walls and doors and stuff. During that process, I actually found out some interesting HR news. If you want me to tell the story, I'll tell the story, but it's like a random, inappropriate HR issue that came up that I had no interest in knowing about. But it happened because a painter shared something with me. So we were getting our new coat of paint because we didn't get the new branding and new layout or none of that. We just, you're HR. You don't need to have an open concept, which I get. I got it because, we're dealing with a lot of confidential information. But I also think it was because HR folks, HR leadership, typically aren't the biggest. It's crazy, but for that particular company, they just weren't really apt to doing a lot of change. So anyway, that's my story. But there's definitely a shift in mindset that happens when you take away the office and move to that open concept. And, who knew that we would be, we have a pandemic and the open concept wouldn't be such a great idea. So, but yeah, it's crazy. I feel you, Shannon. Breeding ground for sure. Like you think about the daycares and stuff, like that's breeding ground zero. And then you go to the office place and it's just like, because people are nasty. People are nasty. I was reminded of that today because you guys know I have the week off. I was reminded of that. I went into a public restroom and it was a women's restroom. I'm just like, women are nasty. Just like, why? Anyway, TMI, but it's definitely a breeding ground. Sharky said, interesting how Amazon didn't open that big distribution center in Long Island City, Queens, a couple years ago. Oh, yeah, I can see a lot of companies having some issues with opening anything in New York. It's not the friendliest place to do business. And that's that's a big thing. You have to make sure that's why companies want to do business in America because it's a good place, easy to do business or easier to do business than some other countries. When you're putting in a lot of regulations, you're increasing taxation on companies and doing all these things. Yeah, it doesn't, companies aren't as apt to move there. They can go, well, I can move to Florida, or I can move to Texas or Phoenix or, some places that are a little more friendly. Sharky said a couple of big tech. Wait a minute. Take a sip. Okay. A couple of big tech YouTubers have announced they're leaving NYC. Also, Sarah, oh gosh, I'm going to mess that name up. Sharky, Sarah Daichi. Did I get it right? Is that wrong? As an example. So yes, commercial real estate is continuing to get hurt, not just residential. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I do not know who that YouTuber is. Let me know something about her. I might have to check her out if she has some good, good info. Brown Gorilla, unisex bathroom. Yuck. I understand the thought. However, again, germ central. So this wasn't even a unisex one. It was a women's restroom, and like people think that women were the cleanest people, but sometimes you go to these restrooms and you're just like. So the crazy thought I had, I was like, I could have taken my chances in the men's room. Because you guys know the men's room is always easier to get to. It's normally like right there. For some reason, the women's restroom was always a hassle. So I'll tell you guys a little secret. Not really a secret, but I've definitely gone to a men's bathroom before. But here's why. I worked on a campus where it was that scenario where you have the men's restroom right there, right, like conveniently located, but the women's bathroom was like all the way down the hall and down here and take the steps. And yeah, so on a different floor, right? Which I don't even get. Maybe because it was a Jesuit school, they wanted to make sure the men's restroom was on the same level as a women's restroom. But yeah, I've definitely done that before because it was convenient. A lot of the girls would do that, but we would have someone check, ask the guy, like, is anyone in there? Okay, cool. And then you have someone check and stand by to make sure no one went in there while you were in there. And I got to tell you, it was clean. It was cool. It was no one in there. Yeah. So I, no judgment. I do not have that mentality when it comes to genders of like, you know, one's cleaner than the other because sometimes. Mm-mm. Thank you, Brown Gravella. Yes. Pink is my favorite color. So I was actually looking at some other mugs and I'm trying to be as a minimalist. So I'm like, no, I just need a couple. Like, I'm good. I shouldn't buy this. Um, hey, JMJ. Sarah is cool. She's in your age range, and I think you like her. Her last name rhymes with Peachy. Oh, Dichi. Okay. Oops. I'm bad at pronunciation, guys. I'm so bad at it. So, okay. Let me look to see if there was anything else I wanted to share about this. Otherwise, I'm going to move to talking about the MacBook. Let me see. Someone commented and said, until Broadway is open, New York is not open. I kind of agree with that because it's just such a huge staple. Like, if you go to New York and you don't go to Broadway, it's just like, what did you do? What did you really do? But the other thing, too, is going to be the shopping because the shopping in New York is like no other. I miss that, too. Like going to Soho, just you just find even like random places, the shopping is 100, like for real. So until all this stuff comes back, New York is not going to be New York. And they said in this, is it this article that said it? Let me see. There was a quote that I wanted to tell you guys. Here it is. So they say, economists say, New York City won't look the same after the pandemic is over. Economists predict a younger, poorer, yes, poorer, and more eclectic crowd. So if you think about Brooklyn, I don't know, Bushwick, Brooklyn Heights, well, not Brooklyn Heights, I'll say Bushwick. I'm trying to think of like where the hippie areas. But yeah, so Williamsburg for sure. So eclectic group, right? So younger, poorer, more eclectic crowd. There will be changes in everything from restaurant dining to entertainment to residential and commercial real estate. That's what they're saying about New York right now. That is what they're saying, y'all. They're saying Moody Analytics, their economists are saying the new New York City will just look a little bit different. Hundreds of thousands of families moved out of the city in the months after the lockdown started. Many of them won't return, but others are coming back along with new people who are looking for new opportunities. So I do think new people will come there, like young people that have their hopes and dreams of New York. And those with families might be like, because they never had to think about what if you left New York or what would be your options if you did leave New York? Well, now they had to. And they may find, like, oh, life is easy now. This is nice. We have time to think. We can relax. We're not in rush mode all the time. We have extra money. Like, we can save. Like, all these positive things, that come. But when you're younger, I would say, yeah, New York would be, it's kind of like that bucket list. Like, why not do it? Why not? Rents are cheaper. It's a good opportunity to, just live your dream. But if you've already been there and you've got it on your checklist, and especially if you're about to raise a family, why? Why would you be in New York? That's my 2 cents. Let me see here. Sharky. Sharky is saying, if we're doing true confessions, I've used the woman's restroom more than once. Just a quick number one. Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Dolly Parton made a similar comment. It's more convenient. I'm telling you, the men's restroom's always more convenient. It's like, so yeah, you just get girl, keep watch, make sure no one's in there, hey, and sometimes it's a little bit cleaner in there too. Brown Gorilla says, mine too. I saw one in Walgreens that was pink and rose gold. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you just sparked my memory. I'm going to move to the MacBook Pro. Let me get through these comments because rose gold is up for the topic of discussion with this MacBook. I got the MacBook Air. Love it. Can't wait to see yours. Oh, you have the MacBook Air. Okay. I was tempted to get that one, but they talked me into getting the MacBook Pro. So, hey everyone. Hey, thanks for saying hi to everyone. Brown Gorilla says yes, and we know Brown Gorilla likes to shop. Yes, Soho shoe shopping. Yes, right? It's amazing. Um, all good here. Just a little tardy to the party. You are tardy to the party. What is up? What is up? Oh, you're playing catch up? Oh my gosh, your hair is gorgeous, girl. What's in that? So it's a concoction. I haven't done your full concoction. I don't know if it was you or 100, Mr. 100 rounds. Lemon, ginger, tea, lemon, um, probiotics. Something else is in here. Peppermint. I don't know. A concoction of things. Why do some places make the women's bathroom better than men's? Life is just not fair, Zero. Life is just not fair. No, I think it's because, the same reason that women pay a pink tax. So this shirt would cost more because it's pink. I'm like halfway kidding, but no, I'm for real. When things are like marketed to women, it costs a little bit more. But no, with the women's bathroom, I think they just want it to look marketed to women. So they'll add in a couch or something and things like that to make it look nicer. Add flowers and things like that. Yep, a rose gold. I know I wanted that rose gold, but I also wanted the MacBook Pro. I wanted to go ahead and just get the Pro. So yeah, I know the MacBook Air comes with the rose gold, but I'm going to get a case. That is true, Brown Girl Bella. We do more in there. We got to do the makeup. We got to check our, jewelry and things. So good point, Brown Girl Bella. Yes, that is for sure. Yes, ladies' room are typically a little cleaner than men's. No comment. Typically. I will say typically. That's not a good excuse. Okay, let's get into the MacBook Pro. Let's start with the don't likes. What do I not like? So here's what I don't like about it. I talked about this before, but the color options. There is this color, this light silver color, and a dark gray color. So there was no rose gold option. So not a huge deal. I just figured I would get a case for it anyway, just to protect it. So we'll do that. We'll find a pink or rose gold case. Fine. The other things I don't like that it doesn't have, as you can see, that's me. Okay. So as you can see, it does not have a USB. Nowhere. Right? Show this part too. Nowhere. So I don't love that because I had planned on swapping some information over from one place to this one using a USB. So that is an issue. The other thing I didn't like, what was it? Well, I'm still just kind of getting used to it too. I don't like that to click on things, you actually have to click. Instead of like tap. Like you can't just tap. I can't tap. Like with my HP, I can literally tap the keypad and it's just like a little weird thing, but it's just like, you have to actually tap. So that's the one thing. So I think those are the main things I don't like about it so far. Those are only things. What do I like about it? I like that it's very lightweight. It's it's way lighter than my HP. And my HP is bigger, so it's really small, compact, and it's very light. So I can picture myself taking this anywhere, and just having a nice time with it, not having to worry about the weight of carrying it and anything like that. The other thing I don't like about it is I did test out the camera, and I knew the camera wasn't great when I bought it. They told me up front, camera's not great. Now, it's not good. It's like worse than the HP. My HP doesn't have a good camera at all. It's bad. But, it is what it is. So just FYI, if you're interested in the MacBook Pro, and I think the Mac computers in general, they don't spend a lot of money on that camera. That camera that's not it. That's not it. I was looking all blurry and everything. So for, web, now I haven't tried it on FaceTime. I didn't try that, but I did try it via StreamYard, and it looks way different. So I'll be continuing to use my phone for my videos, my live videos at least. Okay, so let me think if there was anything else I had that I didn't like about it. I think that's it for now. I think that's it. Oh wait, no, there's more. There's more. I have one more thing and I can't remember it now. I'll come back in another video and tell you. Okay, so the other thing is that I like about it is it does have some cool features. So the first thing is the fact that it has a touchpad, so I can literally put my finger on this to unlock my computer. Isn't that cool? It just unlocked. So that is a cool feature. You just literally, you do your fingerprint just like the phone and the iPad. That is amazing because you guys know it takes time. So you got to change your password sometimes. You got to type it in. Like, it's just a time saver. So I can just bam, just bam, and it opens. So that's awesome. And then the other thing that I like about it is that I can do the AirDrop. So you guys know I have iPad, I have iPhone already, AirPods. I've pretty much been an Apple girl outside of the computer. So now I feel like I'm fully Apple, minus the Apple Watch, I guess, or Apple Home. But I like being able to AirDrop from my phone, and that's going to make things way easier for me when I'm making my thumbnails and things, because now I normally do for my phone and I email my thumbnail to myself from Canva. I'll Canva on my phone, download it, send it to myself via email, download that on my computer, then add it to StreamYard. I don't know why. I think I just might like making things more difficult, because a lot of times I'm setting up the StreamYard from my computer instead of from my phone. For some reason, it's just a lot of times easier because I can type. So that's lifesaver, just being able to AirDrop stuff to myself, which kind of makes up for there not being a USB port, because I was able to sync all my information, Google Chrome, all that stuff over to my computer. So that was nice. The other thing I like about it is, I'm going to show you guys this. Let me see. Let me go to a website. This is pretty cool. And the girl was trying to explain this to me, and I wasn't fully understanding what she was talking about. So I'm going to show you. Okay. So let me see if I can get into LinkedIn. I'm just trying to go to any site because it'll probably be easier to see. Okay. So you can see I'm on LinkedIn. This is about Clubhouse. According to TechCrunch, 1-year-old social audio app Clubhouse, reportedly valued at $1 billion, will now allow users to send money to their favorite creators or speakers. I need to get on that platform. I'm on Clubhouse, but I'm not on Clubhouse. I don't do anything on there. I delete the app and everything. So y'all, if anyone needs a Clubhouse invite, I have 4 or 5. So I'm happy to send out if someone needs an invite, if you're interested in Clubhouse. I'm never on there, but you can send money to your creators. I need to get on there. Oh my goodness. Okay. So anyway, that's not what I'm trying to show you. Do you guys see this let me try not to drop this. You guys see this stuff up here? Well, let me move this over. So you see there's Siri. Siri pops up here. It's really hard to show like this. See? So I just push Siri down here. Here, let me get rid of you for a second, Zero. If I can find you. There we go. Okay, so let's try this. This is some creative stuff I'm trying to do. Okay, so you see this pad up here? It's like a quick touch. So I can, like, if I wanted to adjust the volume, I could hit that. Oops, I'm touching too many things because I'm trying to show you guys. It's because I'm trying to show you. Sorry. But you see how that came up down here? And I could adjust about like see the brightness? It came up right there. And I could type that away. And then I could go over for more stuff. If I was listening to music, I could do skip. It's like this cool little touchpad, right? Isn't that cool? So, and then when I'm on LinkedIn, I don't know, I just think it's cool. It's like easy. So while I'm on LinkedIn, I don't know if you guys can see, but it actually shows the different tabs I have. So I had StreamYard open, and then I had LinkedIn open. Like I see a little preview down here. Isn't that cool? So you have all of this stuff. And I can toggle back and forth. So instead of doing the quick keyboard, what is it? We don't want any shows tonight. But instead of doing the little keyboard, what is it? Control Alt Delete, where you can kind of toggle or tap. I don't remember. I just automatically do it a lot of the time. I toggle between, I guess, screens. But I don't know. For me, pretty cool. And there's even like the search bar. So it's just a touch. They kept talking about the touch bar. It's pretty cool. I love that. I'm slowly beginning to love it. What else do I like about it? I don't like, so even though the bottom is touchscreen, I don't like that like this is not touchscreen. If I touch this, nothing happens. So this is the box to close this out. Nothing happens. So I don't love that, but they make up for it with that bar. It's basically the touchscreen. It's just like a different way of thinking. Because with the HP, a lot of theirs are touchscreen on the screen. And so you have a touch bar instead of the screen. What else do I like about it? Oh, I didn't talk about this, but not only is it not heavy, but I like how thin it is. I love that because it's just easy to put, I have my bag and stuff, so I can put other things in there, not just a computer. I like the display. I like the, what is it? If I were hard of hearing or anything like that, how they set it up, it asks for any of those options, which I just love. For like if for someone that's hard of hearing or visually impaired or anything. Sorry guys, I got a call. But they don't have to look for it. It just automatically syncs. And then it also syncs with all your other products. So I love that. Everything's really fast. Instant. I like that because with HP sometimes, obviously I had that one older. This is a new computer, so I would expect things to be fast and working great. But, that's an advantage too. And then I've always liked the bar at the bottom where you just see everything there. So I love that too. What else? I haven't edited videos on it yet, but I imagine I will soon. Oh, wait. That is interesting. So I'm still figuring stuff out. Like I learn something new every time. But overall I like it. I will probably give another update as I continue learning about it, especially when it comes to the video editing and stuff. But so far, I like the MacBook Pro. I'm glad I bought it, and I'll be even more happy once I get that rose gold or pink case. Just the vanity talking right there. Let me see here. Um, the infinite, zero to infinite, we do more in there. And zero, I think, said that's not an excuse. That is so funny. You guys going back and forth. Hey, I'm with Shannon. I agree. We need look. I'll end this argument right now. Women are already disadvantaged. Just let us have our nice bathroom, okay? Let us have our nice bathroom. Sharky says, "What was your most recent Mac before the new M1 Pro?" Oh, and that is the other thing. Yes, this is the M1 Apple. This isn't on Intel. It's not Intel. Um, I've been Intel. It's always been Intel. I never had a MacBook before, so it's a complete transition for me. Complete transition. Yeah, so I'm kind of doing a learning curve right now. We're getting used to the MacBook. I've been Apple products otherwise, but just not the PC. Not for my PC. Sharky is a double standard. That's why. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Zero is not giving up. He's talking about these bathrooms. He's like, why? I'm guessing no SD card too. No, no. There's nothing. Like, that's annoying. Sharky's saying, Jessica, check out Hyperdrive Hub. You plug it into the USB-C port and it gives you many more ports. Oh my gosh. Sharky, you just changed my. Thank you. I'm gonna pick one up. Okay. Thank you. That's what Miss Fuller was talking about. I didn't know what you guys were talking about. Okay. So I need a USB-C port. And Brown Girl Bella, is that what you did with your Mac? Cause yeah, I'm like, I need it. I need it USB. Brown Girl Bella says I didn't like that it was so big with my nerve pain. I didn't want to overburden my shoulder. Oh, okay. I see. It really, this one, when they put this in the MacBook Air side to side, I do think the MacBook Air is lighter, but the sides looked about the same. So I don't know. JMJ, you're so funny. New stream coming soon. Click versus tap. My camera on the Air is not bad. Really? Hmm. Well, you know I have 14 days to test it out. And if I don't like it, I guess I can send it back. That is pretty cool. Yeah, that pad thing, I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to give that up." I don't think the MacBook Air has that. I'm just like, "Oh, that's nice." I mean, I could see myself getting really used to it because I'm already getting accustomed to it. I'm like, "Oh, I can just look at this." It's like a preview of what you're looking at. It's pretty cool. I think all computers need that. Oh, Paolo, no, you left. You left. Well, I'm glad you're back. You missed. I showed the computer off a little bit, so hopefully you saw that part. Very cool on that unlock key. Yes, Bella. I don't know. Does the MacBook Air also have that unlock like you just touch? I would imagine it does because it's like an Apple product, so same thing. Hmm. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna refill this. Okay, I'm back. Um, love the drop. Paolindo, stay put, JK man. I know Paolindo. Paolindo dipping out. I know it's probably Paolindo's bedtime, so I appreciate you being here. Brown Girl Bella, your iWatch broke? Oh my gosh. No. No. Look, Apple, can you sponsor me? Like, let's pray Apple watches this video. Can you sponsor me for this product review? And Brown Girl Bella too, so she can get a new Apple Watch. Thank you, please and thank you. Right? Oh my gosh, 5 in the morning? Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's way later or earlier there, I guess. Goodness, Paolindo. Well, thank you for rocking with me. Oh my. Okay, I'm lost. Where? Oh my goodness, the comments. I missed all of these. I'm so sorry, guys. Apple, red apple or green apple? What? What is happening? Let me see. Oh wow, Paolino, you live in Italy. I think you said. Yes, he was in Italy. My I literally, I could live in Florence, Italy if I had a choice. Like, yeah. I have no idea what it is. What? You don't know what Clubhouse is? You have to go on there. Then let me know. I think I just need your phone number and then I can invite you. Oh my goodness. JMJ, you don't know about Clubhouse? So I'll give you a scoop on Clubhouse really quickly. Clubhouse is literally YouTube without the video. So like how I just went off camera, I could literally, and you see people do this. Like I follow this guy, Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he does this a lot. He'll just be like no camera. He'll just be talking like as if it was a podcast, just as if it was Clubhouse. Clubhouse is literally the same thing as using StreamYard. You can invite people up, but it's just an easier way to do it. Like you can create these rooms, you'll be talking as the host, and then other people will join that room as listeners, and you can choose to invite people up. Or people can ask, like raise their hand and say, can I be let up, basically? And then they can ask questions or have some dialogue with you. It's pretty cool. A lot of people like it because they get to engage with like celebrities and influencers and yada yada. Like Gary Vee, I've listened to some of his chats. I've listened to a lot of Bitcoin chats because you guys know I'm hodling right now. But yeah, it's a pretty cool app. I'm a visual person, so I'm more attracted to video. So for me, I like to see. I want to see what you look like. I want to see how you're talking to me. I want to see some stuff. But there are other times where I'm just listening because I can't physically see. I'm like doing other stuff or I'm multitasking. I just want to listen. That's what Clubhouse is more for. Or like Spotify podcasts, but engaging because other people can talk to you or be like, let's say I was talking about XRP just went up, 70% or whatever. People could come up and be like, hey, I want to just share with the group. Some of these Clubhouse, let me know if you guys have been to some of these Clubhouse things because some people get up and they'll be like, yeah, so I just want to get up on here to say, and thank you for, this platform and open up this discussion. What I'm about is I'm a poet slash entrepreneur, singer, writer, IT developer, recruiter. And, my passion is, I just want to be more spiritual and I want to do this and that. They go all around the world. And then they get to their point or whatever. Sometimes the host will have to be like, yeah, so what's your question? Because you'd be like, okay. And it's like they doing all this stuff. Like, yeah, I'm a this and a that and a this and a that. And yeah, check out my, I sell t-shirts. Be like, what is the point? What are you trying to talk? What do you want to know about Bitcoin? So if you have a little patience, it's cool. Or if you just want to kind of get to know some different people, it's cool. And then, certain spaces look a little different and sound a little different, but it's a mixed group. Like you get to listen from everybody, from entrepreneur, business professionals, actors, singers, celebrities, whatever you want, you can find it out there on Clubhouse. Not that this is an ad for Clubhouse. We love you, YouTube, if you're listening. Oh man, okay. Brown Girl Bella. LOL, they talk all dang day on Clubhouse. I can't be listening to them folks all day. Yes. 1 minute. Yes, because I have gotten off of a Clubhouse room because I'd be like, okay, because they'll have a title in there. I'm like, okay, I want to hear about this. I think that's why I had deleted the app and everything. I just re-downloaded because someone was saying they wanted to get on there, and I was like, oh, I have an invite. I had like 7 invites that I hadn't used, so I was like, oh, I'll give you an invite, whatever. But yeah, you leave, you come back an hour later, those same people are still in there. I'm like, how do y'all have time to be on Clubhouse all day? Like, what is going on? I can't understand. But yeah, it is like that. And then, all these people gotta talk, and it's just, you'd be like, no. So I don't know about being a host. I don't think I could be a host because you guys know, I think the longest live I've ever done is 3 hours. On Clubhouse, people be on there 6 hours. You'd be like, overnight Clubhouse. It's almost like Big O. People will be on there like hours at a time. It's just like, how? Maybe because I'm a millennial. Maybe my patience just isn't there or something. But you find young and old on there, and they're on there. So I don't know. But I'm with you, Brown Girl Bella. Clubhouse is interesting. But there's some good information that you can find out depending on what room. It definitely is about the room that you join. Paolindo, I'm looking at your comment. Okay. Yeah, Paolindo is my Italian friend. He is normally on my lives, big supporter. So I am very appreciative of Paolindo, especially with it being so early there. I would not be Paolindo, I would be sleep, like knocked out sleep right now at 5 a.m. Like knocked out. I like my sleep. Y'all know this. Sharky says, LMAO, Palindo, I just had pizza for dinner here. You have pizza? Ooh. I had vegan food tonight. I had vegan food for brunch today too. But yeah, it was actually really good. I was surprised. Because you guys know my struggle with finding good vegan food. It's always a great choice. Yeah, Paolindo loves pizza too. No shows tonight. Yes, Miss Full Roller and JMJ, you guys had me yesterday. I was like, oh, the girls, okay. Shaggy said, I'd love to visit Italy. Most definitely on my bucket list when things get more. Yes. Oh my gosh. Visit. So definitely do what I did. You should visit multiple cities. You should go. Well, don't go to Milan. I mean, you can go to Milan, but I didn't see that much Milan. But Florence, Venice, short trip. Not a long time in Venice. Don't expect to party or anything there. But food. You see it. You do some canoeing, or the gondola ride. You see that it's sinking, and you leave. It's not a ton. It's not a ton to do, or at least when I was there, it wasn't a ton to do in Venice. A lot of older people in Venice. Rome for sure. Rome is dirty. Unexpectedly, it was dirty. I was a little surprised, but see the Colosseum. Naples was beautiful, but it's a little rough. So I wouldn't recommend going there alone. And Vatican, of course, Vatican. Whether you're religious or not, Vatican for sure. And of course Florence. And where else? There's somewhere I'm forgetting, and I can't think of it. Seafood for Jessica. Yes, I like seafood on occasion. Jessica, the touch bar is very divisive in the Mac community. Some love it and some hate it. Really? I didn't know that, Sharky. Man, guys. This thing between the Touch ID and the screen, that was like the sell. That's really, I didn't understand it until I was using it. I'm on board with that one. I am on board. The thing that's dividing me right now is that no USB port. I'm like, where is the USB port? And I don't know why it didn't even occur to me to ask, because I naturally just assumed, like I didn't like check all around it, but I just assumed, why would it not have a USB? And then I got home and was like, oh, well, I unboxed it with you guys and was like, oh, oh. It's just kind of like, I mean, what do you do? Sharky. Oh, Paulindo's asking where you're from. Paulindo, originally from Massachusetts, lived in New Jersey for 30 years. Wow. Okay, Sharky. Lived in New Jersey for 30 years? Whew, that's a long time. And from Massachusetts. So you're used to that East Coast life. Okay. You're used to it. Italy is on my visit. Yes. Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh, the lemon. Oh, the lemon. I put a lot of lemon in there. Ooh, but it feels good. But it's lemon. Um, yes, Brown Girl Bella. Yes, visit Italy, please. Take me with you. I'm ready to go back. I got my passport. I am ready. Just let me know when. I'll be on there with you. So in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Brown Girl Bella, hey, you are always welcome here in Italy. Yes. I have been in New Jersey to Weehawken. I haven't even been to Weehawken actually. I haven't been that far into Jersey. I want to see Boston one day. I love East Coast. Paolindo, just make it a short trip to Boston. See what you need to see. And don't linger, because Boston, yeah, Boston is different from what I hear. I don't even plan to go there because of everything I've heard. Paulino says, cool. I lived in Weehawken for 4 years. I now live in the next town, Hoboken. Oh, I've been to Hoboken. Okay, cool. Cool, Sharky. Okay. Hey, Miss Foot Roller. Hi. Welcome. If you're still in here, because I know I'm catching up on these comments. Been listening for a little bit, but now able to chat. Oh, okay. Well, I showed off the computer. I'm not sure if you saw that part, but welcome in. Yeah, nothing here as well. I had to get one of those that Sharky is. Oh, you had to get one too? Okay. See, okay. Because I was questioning. I was like, maybe I should get that MacBook Air if it has a USB port. Like, it's that important. I'm just like, where is it? So I'm going to get the thing that Sharky was saying, the USB C port. Definitely. Yep, and they have one is Rose. Oh my gosh. Y'all, the vanity is real right now. The vanity, because it's only vanity. It's like it should not matter. Like it really does not matter. It shouldn't, but it matters. It matters, guys. Helena, Boston is awesome. This goes against everything I've heard. Okay, let me read the comment. Paula, no, Boston is awesome. I grew up in Western Massachusetts, but went to college in Boston. You will love it. I've heard very bad things about Boston. Bad things about Boston. So it's good to hear you say that. Maybe I can travel there. I think I have to know somebody. I have to be meeting a friend. Boston is almost close to Mississippi to me. I'm like, not going there. Like it's one of the last places in the US that I actually want to visit. Based off of what I've heard. Now it could be wrong, but it's like a lot of folks have shared some bad experiences. So I don't know. Sharky saying hi to Miss Full Roller. I have been to Hoboken. Paolindo be everywhere. Yeah, Paulindo's been in New York. He's been to Jersey. Like he's seen some stuff. But Paulindo, have you been to St. Louis, Missouri? Hmm? Hmm? Pal- Paulindo, Missouri is where it's at. It's not. It's not really, but it's a cool place to visit. It's nice to say that you've been to the Midwest. Or Chicago is a good place too. It's fun. A lot of things to do there as well. Aw, I missed you too, Paulindo. I miss everybody. When folks aren't in here, I'm like, what is this person doing? Because I mean, you have nothing else to do but like join my chat, right? No, I'm always like, I wonder what such and such is doing. And then the world went completely dark. Oh my goodness, JMJ. Of course, I'm sure I will love Boston. We're gonna see. Washington Heights is cool. It's basically open all night. The city never sleeps. I stayed with a friend there during Hurricane Sandy because we lost power for a week here in New Jersey. Oh my, what? A week? Was it during? Wait. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Wow. Sharky, you have been through it. Where's that comment? Because, let me try to get through these more, like, quicker. Fade to black. Welcome to your life, Jessica. Yes, and also, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button, please. Brown Girl Bella, hi, lady. Pal Lindo be in here. He be like, hey, ladies. Gentlemen in here, too. That's fine. But hey, ladies. I feel you, Pal Lindo. Brown Girl Bella, wine, cheese, shopping, great looking at top. I'm just kidding. That last part though, there are some nice looking Italian men. There are. There's some bad looking Italian men too, but there are some nice looking Italian men. I will agree. But yes, the food, the food is great, fresh. It's just, I mean, Europe. I feel like anytime you get food in Europe, it's just better. But who knows? I haven't been there some years, so maybe things have changed. But yes, lots of shopping too. The shopping's great for sure. I have been in Washington Heights in 2010, 2011. My ex is from there. I met her to Florence, Italy. You met? Okay, that's cool. I always wonder if people actually meet people on vacations and like, have this happily ever after life with them or anything. I don't think that will ever happen to me. I don't know. Just FYI, you have to have an iPhone to join and be on Club. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Sharky. Yes, you do need an iPhone. I don't know why that is. I don't get that. No Android. I don't know. I don't understand why. But yes, that is true. You do have to have an iPhone. Yes. Or iPad. Or iPad, right? Um, yeah. I think a lot of folks in here might be Android. Roger Bella, thank you for the compliment. I think that Afro women are so wonderful too. Yes, aren't we though? Like, aren't we? You know? I'm kidding. Paulino says, so cool. Washington Heights is most that's a non-touristy part of New. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like a lot of Dominican, like Hispanic people live there. Too. Yeah, it's definitely non-tourist. You get like real food and stuff. See real people. See how people live. It's not super nice, but it's okay. It's like right. I mean, right by Harlem. Miss Will Roller is laughing. Right on the money. Right, Brown Girl Bella, exactly. It's not the tourist part. Yes, I know that, and I love that place for this too because I can see the real people. Yeah, you can see the real people. Because yeah, the tourists, yeah, that stuff is fake. I mean, it's fake. Oh, did you guys see? Okay, let me find the story. You guys know about the naked cowboy in Times Square? Let me see if I can find it. he was arrested, I think in Nashville. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Because he had to leave New York. He had to go somewhere where he could try to make some money. Um, and yeah, I've seen The Naked Cowboy. Um, I mean, I mean, he's no, who do I want to think of? What's that guy that is, he's like a hot, comparable guy. He's really hot. I can't think of his name. Matthew McConaughey. He's no Matthew McConaughey. But I would compare, like if I had to compare him to someone, it would be Matthew McConaughey. But he's okay, I guess. But he is well known in New York. Like you always see him as you're doing the tourist stuff in Times Square. You know, he'll be in his USA like Speedo, whatever he wears, and he'll have the hat and the boots and everything. So he's very well known. So he was arrested in Daytona Beach. Oh, it's Daytona Beach. Okay. And where the annual Bike Week Festival was underway. This was a few weeks ago. And yeah, he's actually 50 years old. And his real name is Robert Burke. And he was arrested on charges of panhandling. But I'm like, isn't that what everyone does? Like, I don't really understand the whole arresting for panhandling. If I don't really understand it, especially if you're doing something like if you're entertaining or doing something where people. I think that is a little different. But yeah, he was arrested for panhandling. So you guys know he'll like have the guitar, have the whole get up or whatever. You take a picture with them, and then the expectation is you pay money. So yeah, I guess it's not a Speedo, it's his underwear. But yeah, he was they said panhandling and they arrested him in Daytona. So weird. It's interesting because he wasn't arrested for being nearly naked. He was arrested for panhandling, but whatever. So that's some news about the naked cowboy from New York to get us kind of back on topic. Um, right, the way my attention is set up, Brown Girl Bella is too funny with Clubhouse. That's funny. Good to know. Thanks. JMJ saying Clubhouse sounds like the old AOL. So I never used AOL, but Sharky saying it sounds like the old AOL chat rooms. Really? Yeah, do my lemon stuff. The tea is running out, so it is gonna be time to end. And time is a meaningless concept to some of those types of people. Like, literally, some people would just go on if the host did not say, like, hey, what's your question? Or what did you want to ask me? Or whatever. Or what did you want to share? Oh, nothing. I just wanted to, they'll be like, they don't have a question. Oh, nothing. I just wanted to, come up and, say how much I appreciated you taking the time and blah, 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 and sell their products and tell their whole life story. But I don't know. It's a little weird. It can be a little weird. Now, when you have people that are on it and they're kind of running it and it's like a show, it's better. But when you just kind of have these people, anybody can get up there and start talking, it's really weird. It can get really weird after a little while. Not so much I know. Oh yeah, I love Harlem. Aw, thank you. You're tired? Oh my gosh, Paola, no, get some sleep. Get some sleep. You'll see me. I'll be back on here tomorrow. I'm gonna be on every day this week. So you get some sleep, relax, and then have a good day later on. But yeah, it's nice to see you, of course, as always. Harlem are very cool. I haven't been to Harlem in years. Oh my gosh, Harlem is great. The best food place. You guys know I talk about food a lot. This is me and Paola are the same that way. We're about the food. Where is the food? But yeah, no, they have great food, cool people. Jazz. The jazz. But yeah, it's just great music, everything. Yeah, Harlem is wonderful. Naples is the most beautiful city of Italy, and the food is great there, Jessica. Yeah, it was beautiful. I didn't see as much of it as I wanted because I was sick for a day when we were there, so I didn't get to see as much of it, but it was nice. Sharky's asking about where you live. Lemon. Now I'm thinking about that Rihanna song. I pull up in the lemon. I know it's not what you're talking about, but near Naples in a mountain city. Oh, and you guys know I posted a video like a while back. It was a 1 minute video. There was a city in Italy that was willing to pay people to actually move there. I don't know much about it. I may have to sync up with Paolindo and ask him if he knows. Paolindo sounds wonderful. It does. It's chill here and the food is great. Yes, you guys have some of the best food. Brown girl Bella, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. I wasn't going to say it because I have not been there, but I have heard it. Yeah. Boston is not the friendliest town for Black people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I follow this YouTuber. Her name's Kelly Stamps, and she lived in Boston for a minute. And she was just talking about how people would say, you're not going to like it there. Boston's this and that. And she was saying that no, it'll be fine. Boston can't be this and that. And she learned and she moved to the South. So and I was like, I wouldn't even thought about Boston. I did think about moving to Jersey before I came to the South, and I was like, cold weather and it's not New York, I'm out. I was like, I'm going south. Forget that. But it's like Connecticut. There are parts you can go and parts you can't. What? There are parts you can go to and parts you can't go to? Like, so if I'm a Black person, like there are places that I shouldn't go? That's scary. That sounds like Missouri. Because Missouri's like that. Missouri's definitely, so how do I explain this? Like away from like Kansas City, St. Louis, those are the main cities in Missouri. When you're in these different areas, suburbs and towns, that's when it gets a little scary for us. So I don't know. I don't know if it's maybe like that in Connecticut, Massachusetts, but yeah, Boston, yeah, I've definitely heard. Basically, don't go. So I stay away. I stay my little self out of Boston. You don't want me there, I don't have to be there. That's why I always talk about options. Options, options, options. That is the most important. Paola say you haven't been to Missouri. See, I didn't think so. Missouri is cool. It's cool, like for a visit. Yeah, I came in right after you started talking about what you like and dislike about the. Oh, Miss Fogroller came in. You had good timing, so you skipped the New York and went straight to the computer. I see you. Brown girl Bella, United States are not friendly with Black people. That's true. That is true, Paolo. No, touche, touche, touche. United States is not. I mean, when you think about the history of the country, this country just was not made for us. We made it to be. We like continued it and made it to be what it is, but it was never actually, founded to help people that did not look like, the standard white American or really white males. White males were the one that took the land and, started everything with the country and perpetuated a lot of criminal things in this country. And here we are today. So yeah, Paolo, you're right. It's the United States has not been. So yeah, you could definitely bucket the full country and say they have not been right for Black people for sure. But there are buckets of the country that you could say are even worse. Like it's like it's like a spectrum. Like terrible, bad, okay, better, best. Not saying it's good, but it's that spectrum, right? So Boston will be over here where terrible, between terrible and bad for us, right? Or Mississippi, different parts of Mississippi, or different towns, right, across the country on this spectrum. And then you have other places like maybe New York City that's maybe better, because that's not best. You can have issues in New York City too, but maybe better or okay, right? So it's never really the ideal, not the ideal for any of us. Bella, Boston has definitely changed for the better. There's so much fun stuff to do there. And of course, so much history going back to Revolution. Yeah, it could be cool to visit, but I don't think I would. And this girl, the YouTuber I'm talking about, she literally, this all happened in 2020. So this was recent, and she had these experiences. So I'm like, there's a lot of history in the country. We just gonna avoid that. We just gonna look at some other history outside of Boston. But I feel you. I'm sure. I'm sure there's like gems all across this country for sure. Um, for me, yeah, Boston's definitely out. Unfortunately, racism is strong in the States. I hope something will change. I hope so too. I don't think in my lifetime it's going to change that drastically. Paolindo said, Brown Girl Bo said, facts, Paolindo. Great point. Well made. Yes, Paolindo. And it's interesting, people in other countries definitely look in and they see it for exactly what it is and can say, look, this isn't right. While people here in America are like, you tell them that you don't have the same rights. Yes, you do, and you're privileged, actually. Like, what? What in the world? Like, you saw the video from, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? Where these people are saying all these outrageous things. And I do think it's because, like, to Toni Morrison's point, what are white people without the racism? Like, when you ask that question, and I'm going to have a discussion about that. And I want to play that video for you guys because it was very thought provoking what she was saying. And it kind of painted that picture of everyone suffers because of racism. It's not just us. It's also the white male's mentality. Like, what do you have without it? Are you good enough without the racism? Why are you holding on to it? Why is it so important? So I definitely want to do a discussion on, because everyone's affected, everyone, and I think more people need to talk about that, and the fact that it's not just good for us, but it's also good for you. It's good for everyone to get rid of it. I'm sure y'all already have done so, but just in case you have not checked, yes, definitely work on that like button, please. Brown Girl Bella, exactly. However, I don't want to judge all people. I hope there are good people in Boston too, like all the places I love cultural exchange so much. Yeah, Paola, you probably have a good time. You probably have a good time, especially for a visit. I mean, you can experience something anywhere. Just be safe, have a person with you, just in case. Naked Cowboy has been there for well over 30 years. His butt must be older than mine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's 50. He's 50. Um he's in shape. When I saw him, I saw him a few times, just not even trying. It was just kind of like, oh, what? Like, I was not looking for him. I had never heard about the Naked Cowboy ever. Like, never, ever, ever. And so I just stumbled across him in 2019 when I went for a visit and then I moved there. And then I kept seeing him every time I was in the tourist area, like Times Square. I mean, again, he's not Matthew McConaughey. That's all I'm going to say about that. Miss Burrell's laughing. I would love living in a place where there is a melting pot and we can learn something. Yes, it's definitely a lot of benefits to that. Hell no, most Bostonians, especially in a tourist area, are friendly, nice. It's like any big city, they're always a free word. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Sharky. That helps. Wait. Oh. Miss Burrell said, wait a minute. Wait. 50 ain't old. Repeat with me. Well seasoned. Okay. Rewind. Well seasoned. There you go. There you go. I love that. I love that. It's kind of like, when they say tiny people, they say fun size instead of short fun size. So, no, seasoned. What's another good word for, I don't know. I just say mature. Like, I mean, distinguished. Distinguished. What about that? I think that sounds good. Um, yeah, seasoned, distinguished, mature. I like it. Well seasoned indeed, Miss Miss Sarah. Exactly. Helena said, "Yeah, I can imagine there's good and bad people. Yeah, there's good and bad people everywhere. And it's I sometimes I even question like how do you say what's good and what's bad? You guys know I go deep. Um, hold on, let me get. I want to talk about that. So let me get a little more of this, and then I'll be right back. 1 minute. Okay, guys. So here's what I mean by I got a cough drop. Here's what I mean by good and bad because again, I don't know. I think about this stuff late at night. So with everything, there is always that opposite. So when we say something is good or bad, we can even think about instances like fire. Fire, if someone house catches on fire, it's a bad thing, right? But then when like there's a wildfire, it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing because like when with the fire, it actually clears things out and actually helps regenerate the soil. And then like water is a great thing for our bodies. We're made of 70% water. But in a hurricane, water is really bad, right? And then same with people. Like a person can be really bad for some and really good for others. For example, Trump, really bad for some, really good for others. If you invested in Trump properties or invested in something with him, he's probably a good person to you. Different politicians that we see, all these different people. good for some, bad for others. So there's always like a, opposition. Few people I can think of in history were completely bad, or they had like a bad mission or something. So I don't know. Just something I think about sometimes. Thank you, Brown Girl Bella. I appreciate that. And it is 1:55, so I've been here almost 2 hours. So let me hurry up and get through some of these, and I can say good night. Sharky said, Paulindo, we'll make a deal. Wait a minute. Oh, oh my goodness. Okay. You let me know when you're coming to Boston. I'll let you know when I'm coming to Italy that way. Oh, that's so cute. You guys will give each other a tour. Oh, Missouri. Missouri, yeah. Missouri. Exactly. Definitely the play on words there. It's not fun. Missouri is not the funnest place, but it's not as bad as people say. So I think I can get Sharky when he says like, it's not as bad as people think looking in. Because especially when you grow up in a place, you kind of get used to it. And then people outside, when they visit, they're like, what is this? This isn't how it should be. And you're like, this is all I've ever known. I think about that sometimes with, different stereotypes and just little things that, like microaggressions, right? You get so used to them that sometimes you don't even realize it's happening anymore because you're so accustomed to it. Let me see. Brown Girl Bella says, almost got arrested while on work trip. Couldn't wait to get out of there. In Missouri? Mm? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. And that was in Missouri. Missouri's not great. I will say. It's not like on the spectrum. It's probably not the okay better. It's probably more the okay ish between bad and okay for us. I hope I will get to visit it, and I want to visit Philly. Oh, I want to visit Philly too. I had planned to visit Philly in 2020, but you know, stuff happened. I know that's crazy, Brown Girl Bella. Philly is full of great history too. Yeah, you would love it. Boston has more of it though. If I'm being honest, and better, more diverse food. Really? Look at Sharky trying to get us with the food. Sharky's like, I know where to get these folks. Sharky's like, you guys are food motivated. Let me throw that part in there. He sprinkled a little good food in there. Mmm. Okay, Brown Gabella. So you're saying you were speeding and you're tired from the flight delays. My team and I were trying to get to the hotel. So I mean, I will tell you, even I was raised in Missouri, born and raised. But I will say, I don't know. I've really lucked out with officers. I just haven't gotten any tickets like that. I haven't had any issues. I've been stopped. I've definitely been stopped um, multiple times, and I was in the wrong. Like I remember one instance, I was speeding. I was trying to get to work, and the officer kind of scared the crap out of me. But he's like, I'm gonna let you off on a warning. And he's like, it's dangerous. It was wintertime. It was wintertime. So, that makes it a little more, tough for the officers because, you could hurt someone if there's ice on the ground or anything like that. But anyway, he just scared me and he was like, I'm gonna let you off on a warning. So that was one incident. And the other incident I had, I had just gotten a new car. Actually, no, it was my first car. So I had my car, and I was driving without my tags, and I was like, I'm gonna be fine. I literally had just gotten the car like maybe the day before. I got it, I think, on a Friday, and so over the weekend I was just like, well, I'm just gonna, I'll be fine. And I had officers kind of look at me and then just keep going, like, whatever. They're probably like, not gonna waste my time. But this one officer did pull me over, and I was like, yeah, I just got the car, blah blah blah. And he's like, well, look, you need to get the tags, like get them tomorrow. I think it happened on Sunday. He was like, get them tomorrow. And he was like, these are the areas you need to stay away from because you will get a ticket. You need to go straight home. And I was like, okay, yes, sir. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just lucked out with officers. I do wonder if they would have been as nice. My light just went out. Hold on. Okay. I wonder if they would have been as nice if it was like a woman cop. Because, women typically we try to be a little more tougher and more like professional on the books and everything. And, let's be honest, pretty privilege happens, right? So who knows? And Brown Girl Bella, I'm surprised. Was it a lady cop? That makes me question. Like, was it a lady cop that got you? Because those lady cops, they don't care. They're like, you getting a ticket. Luckily, I haven't been pulled over by a lady cop. Like these are the times I appreciate. Like, oh, thank you. Yes, please. I'm just an innocent child. Give me a warning. Oh my goodness, I'm halfway kidding, but no, I appreciate them doing their job, but there should be some leniency, especially we're human. Things like you're tired, you're trying to get to an event, you're trying to get to work, you're trying to do whatever. You know, it's very different than some of the blatant things that people do randomly, and it's like just craziness. Oh my gosh, Paulindo, I love New Orleans. Go to New Orleans, yes. Yes, it's great there. Mm. Well, Paulindo, there was violence to Italian people in this country in a lot of different cities, like even New York. So yeah, um, I wouldn't worry about that. That's a great place to visit. New Orleans. Oh yeah, Miss Full Roller. Yes, they do. No telling yourself, Brown Girl Bella. Right, Brown Girl Bella, you're innocent until proven guilty. But I definitely feel like the copy went overboard. When he ran my license and it came back clean, he let me go. Oh, okay, he did let you go after he ran the license. Okay. Mm. I don't know. And you know what? I've talked to some officers. I've listened to some of their stories. Like I do not envy them. That's one of the last jobs I would do. Like it's just too much. It's too much you got to think about. Is this person doing this and that? And then yes, of course, the bias, the unconscious bias comes in there, the racism comes in there, but a lot of it, I will say, it's tough because it's like you want to immediately blame the officer, but when you think about the media and some of the things that are portrayed, certain platforms, right? YouTube, social media, like media on TV, television production, radio, everything. It really is made. And I actually commented this on a LinkedIn post, um, I don't know, like weeks ago. A lady had shared something, I think, about the George Floyd incident. It was either George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, and was comparing all these people that were black and they were killed. They literally were killed. And then these white folks, white men, these specific white men, who had done things armed but were not harmed, were not murdered, right? And so I commented and said, yeah, black has been, I don't know exactly, I said something like black has been um, portrayed as a weapon. Like just your black skin, like my skin. Someone will look at my skin and see that as a weapon, and immediately think that I am aggressive. Like not even seeing, it's this question: do I see myself as a woman or a black person? It's crazy because it's like you see me as a woman, but you see the black skin, and immediately that's like a weapon in some people's eyes, a lot of people's eyes. Well, we don't. It doesn't help that when you see the betrayal of our people across the world in such a negative light. Like, what are you going to immediately think when someone's doing like the lightest minor thing? is going to blow up and you're going to think the worst. So, you know, I have a lot of thoughts on it. It's just it's tough because you do have to look at the full picture. And I do understand for officers it's a tough job. But at the same time, if you're going to go into that industry, there needs to be some type of training, special training, so these incidents don't happen. Like, I don't think it's get rid of all of them. We're just going to, handle it ourselves. Like, I'm not handling nothing. I'm going to call the police if something's going down. But, we have to appreciate that, those services. But there needs to be extra effort to that to make sure that people are doing the right thing and are trained to do that and mentally prepared to do the right thing. Shaggy says, Bella, I'm sorry to hear. I will say that message you should stay police or tough hombres. zero zero tolerance policy for things like speeding. And yeah, Brown Girl Bella in Missouri, there are certain areas, like the officer told me, don't go here, don't go here, don't go here. You will get a ticket. They are stricter in certain areas for sure. Lordy, I meant cop. I knew what you were talking about. LOL, I'm getting sleepy. Aw. I know it is the middle of the week, so I am gonna shut this down. I got a cute I got more comments though. Okay, let me speed through. I see Brown Girl Bella. That should feel like you didn't want to come back. I know. That's right. That's what I call my older dolls, seasoned Bellas. You call them seasoned Bellas. I like that. That's cute. Miss Sarah agreed 100%. Almost applied to be a Mass State cop back in the day. I'm kind of glad I didn't. It's a tough job, man. It's a lot. Quick commercial break. About window. Right. I just need some music. I need some music like Brown Girl Bella. Because I be in there like, okay. And then she be like, what is it that you say? I don't, why am I like blanking on what you say? Because you say it every single time. Oh, well, I can't. My brain probably slows today too. It's time for bed. It's like, my brain is like, it's time for bed. We're not working right now. And just like that, all the lights turned off in the entire room. Oh my goodness. LOL gives me time to go get something to drink myself. Don't drink and drive now. Oh my goodness. JMJ giving Brown Girl Bella a hard time. Right, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Drink. Miss Roller got the real drink. She got an iced tea. A Long Island iced tea or something, or a daiquiri. Welcome to the Jessie Show. Remember folks watch drinks after you finish. Oh my goodness. I will always just say the media, especially movies, help give Boston a bad rep. Of The Departed, Black Mass, the Town. Y'all, I haven't seen any of these movies. Paolo Lindo is I wonder if he's seen some of these movies. But Sharky, I haven't seen any of these movies at all. At all. Man, I love that The Town. I haven't seen any of them. You guys, I just saw The Terminator. Right? Okay, this light is like telling me it's time to go. Even the light is like, goodbye. We done. Let me see. It's relative though. There are some things where there's a clear line of distinction that could never be crossed. That's true. I get it. Yeah, it's tough. It's a little complicated. Mm, oh, you guys talking about that movie that I don't know anything about. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Bella, sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were saying you got pulled over in Massachusetts. No, it wasn't. Nope, she was pulled over in my state. Good old Missouri. And people call it Missouri instead of Missouri. Or Misery, as Brown Girl said. Sorry, Brooklyn had our paws all over the keyboard. Oh, Brooklyn. Brooklyn is so cute. Okay. Virtual drinks only. Yes. Okay, we're gonna close this out. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. And tomorrow, I don't know what I am talking about, but I will be live at some point later in the day. I think it's gonna be 8 a.m. Central. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you all have a great night. Paolo, I hope you have a great day. Get some rest, and we will see each other again soon. Thank you. Bye.